God says a jealous person is trying to block your blessing right now. You need to know this immediately because there's crucial information missing that could change everything if you don't listen. This isn't just any day, my friend, and this isn't just any message today. This exact moment has been marked by heaven. You can talk to Jesus right now, not later or tomorrow. He is reaching out to you right now. You weren't supposed to find this, but you did. There are big changes going on in the spiritual world, and the next 30 minutes are very important. This kind of thing doesn't happen very often, so don't brush it off. Pay close attention. A lot of people are just scrolling by and leaving this page. But you stop. That's not a mistake. Jesus knows who his followers are, and he purposely messed up your plans today. That's why this message was sent to you instead of getting lost in all the other stuff. Heaven isn't shouting at everyone right now. It's whispering to you. I'll tell you what's going on behind the scenes. The Lord saw how hard things have been for you. You didn't even have to speak out loud to be heard. You were about to give up and say, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. He could tell. Jesus didn't tell you off, but instead he got closer. He told Archangel Michael to keep an eye on this very moment and make sure nothing gets in the way of what's going to happen because time is valuable. This is very important. You can walk through a window of heaven that only open for a short time if you know how. You can also just ignore them and they'll close without a sound. Events are coming together in a way that means you can't put it off any longer. Jesus wants to talk to you. There is truth in what your spirit is telling you. There was a reason you felt that strange pull before you clicked on this video. Pay close attention for 30 minutes. Don't be scared. They help you learn. This message from heaven isn't meant to scare you. It's telling you to get ready. Some people don't need to know about the change in your life just yet. That's why they told you to be quiet until these strong things show up. Some things grow better when there is no one around. Archangel Michael is here because he is in charge of keeping God's order. He's always willing to help make heaven better. Anything that tries to get in the way of what God is building is blocked by him. Right now, he's watching over your future to make sure that doubts, other things, and voices from outside you don't get in the way of what Jesus has planned for you. You might feel like something important is about to become clear because Jesus says, "Open your eyes and stay with me." This message is unfolding one step at a time. Every word is meant to be here. Every pause is important. You should really feel that way. You're about to hear the truth that will completely change the way you see things. You'll never look at them the same way again. Take your time. Don't do more than one thing at once. Pay close attention to this moment. It's not because Jesus is stressed that he talks quickly. Because he loves you so much, he steps in before things get too bad. He's stepping in early to avoid having to deal with the consequences. Kindness at work here. You might not know why you're here. It's a simple but deep answer that you've heard before. You believed even when it was hard. Life tried to make you tough, but you didn't give up. Even though it was weak, you didn't let your faith die. That's why this message comes from heaven. Something is being held for you until you are told what to do. The people around you will change when you understand what Jesus is writing. It will feel easier to make choices. It will no longer be possible to worry. There will be peace where there was stress before. These aren't just words. This has everything to do with spiritual alignment. The presence of Archangel Michael means both safety and permission. You don't need to be scared to move forward. Anything that was stopping you before today will no longer be able to. Jesus is putting a wall around your life that no one else can get through. Pay attention. Why did this have to come to you today, this very day? Also, why couldn't it wait an extra hour? What's coming up will show you why. Things will begin to make sense now. Take a deep breath. You're safe. You were seen also. You're right where you should be right now. Hi, sweetheart. As you read on, keep in mind that Jesus is doing more than just comforting you right now. He's making things clear. It's not always that you're not trying hard enough. It's sometimes because of all the spiritual noise around you. Too many people have talked to you, given you advice, and had too many hopes for your life. Christ has turned down that noise today, so you can hear what has always been true. Right now, heaven wants you to take it easy. It's okay to not feel everything you've been feeling. Some of the things you had to carry weren't yours to begin with. He reached out to you today because he knows this. He steps in this way to help you figure out what's real and what's not in your life rather than letting you keep carrying extra weight. The Archangel Michael is still close by. Not just a figure in the distance, but someone who is actively watching over your spiritual space. While he's there, things will try to take your attention away from him, but they won't be able to if you stay united. There's a reason why your heart feels alert. You can tell when someone is being honest. That knowing inside you is coming back to life. Jesus wants you to take a moment to think about something. Remember the last few weeks. Take note of how things almost went well but stopped. Take note of how the answers seemed close at first but then got away. They didn't deserve what they did. That was a way for safety. It was not yet time for you to go through those doors, so they were shut. If you had, you would have been happy with less than what God wanted for you. Today, things are going to get serious. Now, as you move into the next part of your life, you need to be smart, not poor. Jesus is making your vision clear so you don't mix up urgency and alignment. Just because something seems right away doesn't mean it's from God. It's also not late just because it takes time. Heaven is precise and doesn't rush around. You were picked to see this because you need to decide what to do. Not every choice looks like a big deal. There are changes that happen inside you that are quiet. You choose what you will no longer put up with, what you will no longer go after, and what you will finally give to God. Today, Jesus is talking to you about that choice. Besides that, something else is becoming clear. It was someone else that was really making you feel that way. They don't always mean harm, but sometimes they do it because they don't understand. You shouldn't cut people off when you're mad, says Jesus. Stop letting them tell you what you're worth or how to live your life. People can help you, but not as much as they used to. God can lift you up. The Archangel Michael is very important to this. He helps us tell the difference between lies and the truth. Lines that were not clear are being drawn again. You'll feel more sure of yourself in areas where you weren't sure before. You won't get every answer right away, but you'll have less doubt about yourself. That is the first big step forward. Jesus also talks about your worry about missing out. You're afraid that if you wait, you'll miss your chance. Pay close attention. Things that are meant for you can't go to someone else. Only actions based on fear can slow it down. That's why this message came before the next step instead of after it. Do not forget that heaven is keeping you from regret. Something is changing in the way you see things right now. You're realizing that taking it easy doesn't make you weak or passive. Jesus took a break before doing some big miracles. His most important words often came after a long pause. In the same way you were being asked to act, don't rush through this. Today is very important because we are aware of it. You are in charge as soon as you know. The things you need to do are listen, pause, and respond with thought instead of emotion. Christ put his faith in you to do that. He wouldn't have talked to you this way any other way. Small tests, small distractions, small doubts, and everyday tasks will try to take your attention away. So, Archangel Michael stays alert. On their own, they're not dangerous, but when they work together, they can make what God is doing less strong. Do not forget about it. Do not look ahead. What's going to happen next will help you understand the deeper reason why this message had to be sent right away. What you've been praying about in private has something to do with what's going to happen in public in your life. It's not that far between them. Take this in, you're not behind. We haven't forgotten about you. It takes time and care to get ready, which can feel a lot like being still before moving. Stay here. What comes next will teach you something new that will alter the way you think about everything that comes after. I want you to show your faith right now before we go into more detail about what Jesus is telling us. Kindly type men in the space below. If you think God is talking to you now, and if you can feel the truth rising in your spirit, you shouldn't just say that. You should mean that you are awake, listening, and ready to receive what God is sending your way. Your man is a promise to God, not just a word. Remember that angels can tell when heaven and earth agree as you type. Be religious type men now and let God hear you. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. Faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. We will now get to the heart of why this message feels so strong. My beloved, Christ is not only talking to you, but also setting you up right now. There are times when God talks quietly and times when He talks right to us. Today is important because soon something will do what you say. Heaven isn't waiting for something to happen. It's waiting for everything to line up right. Truth starts in the spirit a long time before it shows up in your life. You asked God to show you something. You were wondering in your head whether you should hold on or let go, whether you should wait or move, and whether what you were feeling was real or just in your head. The answer to that prayer is Jesus right now. We will talk about more things after this message. That's proof that the talk has already begun. The Archangel Michael is there to see it. In the Bible, when God was about to set the truth, the Archangel Michael was always there to protect it. Because Jesus is here, what he is telling you is safe. Nothing can change it. It can't be stopped by fear. Right now is a clear moment. And in clear moments, you need to do something. This is what Jesus really wants you to understand. What's coming will test your bravery. Not because it's dangerous, but because you've never seen it before. Being in pain feels safer than being blessed in ways you don't understand. Now that you know how to stay alive, God wants you to grow. When you grow, what you're used to gets stretched. That's why this is holy and heavy. This is what Jesus is fixing in you right now. Let me tell you, in this world, you judge your progress by what you can see. But in heaven, progress is based on how well you follow the rules. You did better than you think. Even though it didn't seem right, you prayed. You could have gotten mad, but you didn't. You could have shut your heart down, but you didn't. This choice gives you more power than you think. This is another place where you need to watch out. It's impossible to hide the truth once it comes out. If what God shows you next is different from what you thought it would be, you should still trust it. In these 30 minutes, you will learn not do anything. Do not act quickly. First, let things calm down. Things will move forward on their own. If this message is hitting home for you, take a moment to think about it. Share, like, and comment on this message about your faith to let other people know it's there. Sign up for this space to stay in touch. Things aren't going to end here. When people back and share messages like these, they help God reach people who are still looking. Now, pay close attention because the next part is very important. There's no secret here, that's why they told you not to talk about it yet. It protects you. Sharing too soon can cause doubt before faith is fully formed. And not everyone can understand how God works with time. He told people many times to be quiet until the right time. Now, Archangel Michael's job is to keep your faith safe from people who don't believe in God and will try to sneak up on you and ask if this is really God or just the same thing is being taught to you. A coincidence. But chance doesn't always say what it means. Dates, feelings, and answers don't always just happen to be right on time. This is a divine arrangement. What's coming next will connect singing the work God has been doing behind the scenes to something very useful in your life. You'll begin to notice patterns that aren't failures, but rather ways of getting ready. A lot of people leave too soon here. You can see that you should get this spiritual activation if you stay though before you leave. Type "I'm stepping into my season" in the comments if this message speaks to you. I hope to step in isn't enough. You need to say that you are leaving right now. You are making your voice match what heaven wants by writing those words. The spiritual world gets the message that you are no longer happy to watch. You're making progress. Make it stand out when you write it. Be sure to say something that will stick out in your mind as the moment when things changed. Enter, "I am stepping into my season to take charge of this moment." You should get this spiritual activation before you move on. If you think this message is for you, please write "I received divine timing" in the comments. The blessing code 777 was just sent to you this season. It means alignment, safety, and clarity. It looks like Jesus is telling me, Those who help spread this word will never lack. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that lights someone else's way. Giving to this work through the pinned comment or the link in the description doesn't just go to a channel. You can buy coffee, make a donation, or join our Ko-fi community. Your actions are helping God save souls who have lost their way. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. These words are for you. Every gift you give is like a stream of living water clears throat that flows into the life of someone who needs to be healed. There is a promise in the Bible that says, "Give and it will be given to you." This promise shapes your future. I'd like to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Do not enter this moment without a plan, without being honest, and without hope. The cash you give today is not a gift. To open your heavens, you have to do something spiritually right. Give up your seed and see what God brings back into your life. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You can get a better idea of what this change will look like now that the confirmation is out there. A lot of people get it wrong when they think about divine movement because they expect noise, speed, and change right away. But what God is doing with you right now is much more long-lasting, steady, and quiet. This is more than just a short-term high. The changes you make inside will make it easier for the changes to happen in the outside world. You might already be reacting in different ways. The things that used to stress you out are losing their power. Things that used to scare you look very far away and almost small now. That doesn't mean you're not caring anymore. That's when things get stable. You won't be able to handle what's coming if Jesus keeps you stable. You need to know something important. The enemy usually attacks right before clarity. If you felt lost, tired, emotionally heavy, or like you had doubts about yourself, that meant you were almost at a breakthrough. That's why this message had to be sent to you right now. Heaven doesn't tell you before the storm or after it's over. It gets you ready since the defense is still on. Michael the Archangel is still here. When things are more aligned, resistance often tries to stay. There is no danger ahead. It means that the old ways of doing things are no longer good enough and need to be changed. Since your spirit is still getting used to its new home, you may sometimes feel emotional resistance. Don't think of that as a fail. Things need to change around here. Christ wants you to understand something very well. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. Every time something is shown to you, you need to trust it more. No, God doesn't show you everything at once. He does this so you don't get too stressed out. You are getting just the things you need right now. Below the surface, things are also getting better. That old hurt that you thought you had moved on from is slowly leaving you. Only by telling the truth, not by threats or abuse. When the truth comes out, lies fall apart on their own. You're starting to understand that not all of your guilt was your fault. Many years ago, you didn't have to punish yourself for things you feel bad about. At this point, becoming mature starts to take the place of striving. There is no longer a need for proof or validation that you can trust what God says, even if it doesn't happen yet. That kind of faith is strong because things can't change it. You can be strong without being stiff, and you can be open without putting yourself at risk of getting hurt. Pay close attention to your discernment over the next few hours and days. You'll know what needs your attention, what doesn't. It won't be a judgment, but a peace. You won't feel like you have to perform or explain yourself as much. You won't be as scared of letting people down either. That's growth, not change. There is another meaning to the fact that Archangel Michael is there. New lines are being drawn around things. Kindness used to get you into trouble, but now you are safe. People saw your silence as a sign of weakness, but now power is being built. You're not getting stronger, it's getting clearer for you. Even when it's quiet, people always value clarity. Jesus is also getting you ready for a talk or an idea that is about to come to you. It could be between two people or involve someone else. You will not do what you normally would in either case. You're not going to do anything out of fear because you understand you will answer in a way that makes a difference. You shouldn't be shocked if you feel a strange mix of calm and excitement. Those words often show up when God is about to do something that proves what He said. You are safe if you stay calm. You are ready when you expect something. When you use them together, they show alignment. What's going on right now is very important. Something very important was laid at the beginning. Even though it doesn't seem important at this point, God is slowly putting up things He wants to use for good because He is building something in you. You're not being hurried. Be careful, but don't stress out or pay too much attention. Just know this. Remember the words you heard. They should change how you pray, think, and rest. It will be more important to be smart than to move quickly as the seasons change. From what comes next, we can see that this change on the inside will soon show up on the outside. It won't be long before you can see the link between your work and your goal. Keep this moment in mind. You're not as far away as you think. God has more to say than this. It's only the beginning. That's why I want you to subscribe to this channel right now. Know right now when you remember subscribing is an act of alignment with the prophets. I'm staying in touch with what God is letting go of. I'm not going to give up on my breakthrough. When you click the subscribe button, you're stuck in divine timing. It's important that you don't miss the next word, the next step, or the next part of how heaven is showing itself to you. Keep your body in line. Don't let anything else take it away to make sure you have a link to this prophetic flow. Sign up now. Come on, my beloved child. Let's talk more about what Jesus is doing in you right now. This part is strong, but it's hard to see. God is changing the way you remember the past, so that it won't have an effect on the present. A lot of people keep thinking about old stories that God never wrote, and they go through the same emotional cycles over and over again without realizing it. Jesus is going to help you break the habit. You've thought about some things so much that you can't remember what they are. There are things you think you missed, decisions you wish you had made, and chances you could have taken. Jesus is gently breaking these mental loops today. When you finally look at your past, you shouldn't feel bad about it, but you should be honest about it. There is no more shame when the truth comes out. There is a reason why this is happening now. Soon, having doubts about yourself will not help. This is not because you are weak, but because what God is about to give you needs trust that comes from Him, not from how well you do. If you don't deal with your shame, Jesus knows that it will make it hard for you to judge people in the future. He is taking care of it now because the next door is about to open. At this point, there is inner conflict. So, Archangel Michael keeps an eye on things. Not big loud fights, but quiet talks about things you've believed for too long. Thoughts like, I mess up everything, I'm behind, and other people are smarter than me are not true. They sound like fear. Archangel Michael's presence shows that these lies are being faced and broken. Pay attention to how Jesus does this. He doesn't blame you. He is not pushing you. He only shows you things that don't fit with who you are becoming. That's how God changes things. That last fight back is made with force. Being shown the truth makes you give up. You're not being pushed ahead. Under the water, you are being pulled forward. There's something else going on. You're hearing God's voice more clearly. You may feel nudges, soft impressions, or moments of clarity that happen on their own. It's not a lie. This is getting close. You can hear God better if you take the time to listen. To know Jesus' voice without always being told, learn to hear it. It's also time to get better. Making something better doesn't mean taking something valuable away. It means being clear about the goal. Different wants are being changed. Some goals are changing or getting less ambitious. It wasn't that they were wrong, but that they hadn't thought of everything. God is making you more determined so that when you reach your goal, it doesn't make you feel bad. You might not be as interested in things that used to interest you. Stress wears me down. Comparing things doesn't add anything. It doesn't look like validation is needed. That doesn't mean you're not interested. Yes, that is growing up. When you find your identity in God, the noise of the world stops being interesting. He is teaching you how to live so that you are full, not hungry. We can also learn about trust from this story. You should trust how things are done, not what they do. This is how you learn that God's timing doesn't punish you for being ready. It makes things better. What looked like a delay turned out to be progress. The skills you didn't think were useful were getting better. In the background, you weren't aware that you were building your strengths. There was no loss. Archangel Michael is still with you, which is proof that protection doesn't always look like help. It can look like holding back at times. Things that would have worn you down were kept from you. You were not allowed to take any steps that would have taken your attention away. At the time, it was a bother. I used to be angry, but now that I see things more clearly, I'm thankful. He also wants you to know that you don't need to tell everyone how much you've grown. Real growth is easy to spot. People will know when you change your mind without you saying anything. Something different will happen to you. You are going to choose something else. There will be a change in how you rest. It will be easy to see the change. Pay attention to how calm you are. Now, peace will lead you. You will be at peace with something that is God's will, even if it makes you work hard. When something makes you feel uneasy, your gut will tell you to be careful, even if it looks good. You should follow peace instead of stress. Jesus tells you on the trip it may seem empty, but it's not. Most of the time, the most important work is done alone. Seeds grow on top of the ground before anything else does. You are now at that point. As God grows something, don't think about it too much. As soon as things calm down, get ready inside. Not by working hard, but by being open, ready to learn, and ready to listen. What's coming will need the stability that God is building right now. What comes next will be strong because this base is being built with care. Follow along as this goes on. You're not going anywhere. You are being led for a reason. After what comes next, you'll start to see and feel how this change inside you will soon show up in the real world. There is someone who needs what you have right now. Someone at work, a friend or family member who is having a tough time. Heaven wants to use you as a bridge. That's why I want you to share this video with other people. You should do it because it is the right thing to do, not because you have to. It's not just a video. The blessing is leaving you as you speak this word. In this case, you are using breakthrough to help someone else. It's clear in the Bible. People who water others will have their own gardens watered. As you share, your own anointing will grow. You can expect to make progress more quickly. Send this video right now. Send it. Put it up. Let it go. You can get something in your life that you can't get any other way if you're willing to share. Pay close attention to how this work inside you will start to show up in your daily life as this message goes on. You should never hide changes in your spiritual life. It changes how you talk, what you pick, and how you do everyday things. In the end, the things you used to feel helpless about will soon start to change because of the changes you are going through. You might already be able to tell that you can't handle things being out of place as well. Things that you used to put up with to keep the peace are now making you feel bad. That's not what this is. That's when discernment wakes up. Jesus is telling you that having truth in your life is what makes you peaceful, not having no problems. When the truth comes out, false peace can't last. In the same way, your spirit is getting better. Not the kind that gets loud or angry, but the kind that keeps you steady. You are learning how to stand up straight without saying anything. You should learn to trust without being reassured and how to wait without getting tense. These things show that you are spiritually mature and get you ready for tasks that are too big for your fear to handle. It's important to be picky the more clear you get. That's why Archangel Michael watches. No longer should you be able to get to everything. Don't let your feelings get in the way of every conversation. If the chance seems good, it might not be right for you. Protecting yourself seems like a good idea right now. The same way Jesus changes the way you think about power. You may have been wrong about how powerful your words and choices are for a long time. You put it off too long, you had too many doubts about yourself. God is now giving you back the power you deserve, but not over other people. It's about your own life. That is the first spot where you need to use power. Pay attention to how you talk to people from now on. You'll see that your answers are calmer, more thought out, and more clear. You're not moving away from me. This is you being grounded. Being grounded makes it less likely that you will get caught up in mood swings. Christ also wants you to understand one more thing. People grow up and move away from each other, not because they love each other less, but because things are no longer in sync. There are some links that will change on their own. There will be less interesting conversations. It's not loss. This is the change. Do not hurry what God is moving slowly. You are also being asked to take part in a new beat. There is a beat that trusts the gut and values rest. You no longer need to prove every point or fill in every blank. The quiet will make you stronger. When you're alone, you can think things through better. Being sure of yourself grows when things are calm. Archangel Michael's presence also serves as a reminder that spiritual authority needs to be protected by discipline. There should be order in your thoughts, your speech, and your attention. It's not necessary to watch everything, but you should be careful. What you let happen over and over again shapes what you think is normal in the end. Jesus is getting you ready for a time when you'll have to choose between being in line and being liked. That choice might be hard at first, but it will free you in the end. Doing what you're told can cost you in the short term, but it can pay off in the long run. It's easy to give up at first, but it costs a lot in the long run. You are learning how to tell them apart. Do not wait to answer this message. Please do so right away. There's more to what you do than just like, share, and comment on a video. You're helping to get this message to people who need it. This isn't a one-time thing, so sign up to stay in touch. We are still on this journey, and it's important to stay on track. Now pay close attention to this. Being passive and calm are not the same thing. It's getting ready. God doesn't rush people when He wants to trust them. First, He makes them stable. You are being held still so that you don't freak out or question your choices when the movement starts. Soon, you'll be able to use what you are learning. Even though it seems small, it will be very important to God. How things go from here will depend on how you answer. God will make sure you pass the test He gives you. He is showing you more of what He has already done for you. Why does Archangel Michael stay there? Because the enemy likes to make hasty choices when things are getting clearer. Clear's throat. Being in a hurry when you need peace is a warning sign. There is peace when everything is in order. Even if the next step is scary right now, trust that voice inside you. It's being made sharp. If you feel calm and believe that God is holding you down with something strong, you can seal this moment with your faith. Type one more time in the comments. That is not as an echo, but as a stronger yes. When you woke up was the first amen. This amen is what's holding you back. In this verse, it says, I will not turn back or look away. I am focused on what God is doing. Don't let this second man come from hide up in your spirit. Type it now to let God know you're stuck. Remember this moment. A lot of people move on when their feelings aren't strong anymore. Wisdom, on the other hand, stays real even when feelings calm down. This is where you understand better. We put what we've learned into action here. Follow along as this goes on. After that, something real will come out that will connect how you've been feeling to what's going to happen next. You need to pay close attention to this part because it will change how you move forward. I need to talk to the messengers in this room first before we go any further. Some people in your group need to be sure of things more than anything else. There is no sound during the search. God wants to talk to them through this video. That's what you need to do. Share this message from the prophet right now. Not tomorrow, when you have time, no, now. It's when you share that your life changes for the better. The Bible says that if you give, you will receive. Giving this word to someone else fills your cup over and over again. Add this video to your story, text it to me, put it on the wall. Let the anointing go through you and reach someone who is ready. Do it now while the Spirit is still alive. My beloved child, we have reached a point where we completely understand each other. You are becoming who you are becoming as time goes on. This message from Jesus is not about what you will do next. Identity is always more important than being given a job. It's hard to do well when assignments come first. But tasks go more smoothly when people are sure of who they are. That's why God has been so careful. You might start to feel more sure of yourself in a quiet way. It's not arrogance or relying on yourself, but a calm awareness that you are being watched over, led, and held. Being sure of yourself doesn't make you loud. It doesn't make sense. It's not moving fast. It's not moving. You will stay strong because Jesus trusts you in this way. We need to be steady more than fast for what's coming next. Jesus wants you to pay attention to a very important thing about how you've been feeling lately. You don't react as strongly as you used to. Things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. They pass right through you. That's not being numb. That's what makes you better. After cuts and scrapes heal, pain won't be able to change how you act. Since Archangel Michael is still with you, you need to improve your spiritual standing right now. How you stand affects your balance. To be durable, you need to be balanced. You are learning how to take care of your responsibilities without giving up. This isn't just a quick speed boost. You are getting ready for a long time. In the same way, Jesus is telling you how to see people who disagree with you. Problems used to mean it was time to stop. You are now learning to read them to find your way. Most of the time, resistance tells us where growth is taking place. You wouldn't grow if you weren't pushed. You don't want to fight, but you're also not scared of it. Another lesson is that you should know the difference between being suspicious and being wise. Things are calm and clear in the mind. People are suspicious and tense. Jesus is teaching you that you can trust your judgment and not think too much about it. You'll know when something is wrong. It's not because they are scared, but because the peace is leaving. Being aware of that is getting stronger. Now, pay attention to how your prayers are changing. Things aren't as hard or fake as they used to be. You're no longer trying to say things that will make God like you. It sounds like you think He will listen when you talk to Him. It's important to make that change. Being honest with God is much more important than saying nice things. It's also possible that you want to keep your hidden life safer. You decide what to talk, watch, and listen to. This is not getting paid. To do this is to be a steward. Keep what God is building in you safe until it can stand on its own. When the Archangel Michael is around, this need for spiritual boundaries gets even stronger. There aren't any walls around the outside. They keep things out. They let things in that make you feel good and things out that make you feel bad. To be obedient and not selfish. Sometimes saying no is a good thing to do. He wants you to know that you can use rest as a weapon. You can't be anxious when you rest in Him. People can't trick you if you're not in a hurry. Resting doesn't mean doing nothing to move around without being scared. In heaven, things move very quickly. You may sometimes feel like you don't quite fit in with the people around you. It's possible that talks won't get very deep. You might not need to worry about some things as much now. This can make you feel alone if you get it wrong, but it's not the same thing as being alone. Change needs to happen now. When you change frequencies, different people move at the same time. Don't be too hard on yourself about this. Also, don't judge other people. Everyone chooses their own time. You are not supposed to push people forward. You need to stay where you are. The people who are meant to walk with you will change on their own. Jesus also wants you to stop trying to figure everything out. Not everyone having to understand is not a need to follow through. A lot of people also didn't get Jesus. It's more important to follow God's rules than to please other people. Now that you know this, you won't have to do any more emotional work. Being aware of this may make you feel a mix of mild excitement and seriousness. When you see that, it's time to go. You're not scared of what's going to happen because you know it. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It's the choice to trust God more than be afraid, because this is where two roads meet. Archangel Michael stays close by. He's not very interesting to look at, but he's very important to those who know him. You have moved from reacting to responding, from getting by to clears throat figuring things out, from trying to getting up. You don't want to go back after crossing. Don't worry too much about this, but pay attention. To be serious here, you need to pay attention, not be tense. Take a moment to let the truth you are getting shape your posture. Things don't need to change. Things are already different. What comes next will start to link this interchange to a clear's throat certain way of going. Not everything, but just enough to feel good about what you're going to do next. Do not look ahead, don't close your door. My beloved, this is where things start to make sense, because it ties your inner change to a divine plan that has been going on for a long time. What Jesus is telling you now is more important. A lot of people can feel this part, but can't put their finger on it. You thought there was more to your life than just getting through the days. In that way, there was no imagination. Yes, it was an honor. These words from Jesus show you that the way you've been getting ready is not by chance. You became smarter through every hard season, every delay that made you work harder, and every quiet moment that didn't feel like it was getting anything done. God wasn't just making you better people. He was also making you more spiritually aware. It's important to know what's coming next, because what you're stepping into needs more knowledge than excitement. It's important that Archangel Michael is here. Archangel Michael will protect you with truth and bravery if fate and duty meet. The fact that he is there lets you know that you are not going alone. You shouldn't try to figure things out by yourself. You are being guided, watched over, and given strength for what's to come. You're being called in a way that doesn't look like stress, but like a good fit. It might not be what most people would expect. Some people might not be pleased, but you will feel good about it. He doesn't want you to go in the same direction as someone else. He wants you to follow the path that was made just for you. At this point, compare must have finally lost its power. It's harder to see your path when you look at someone else's. Your goal, your training, and your schedule are all different. It's not like God rushes out or tells everyone what will happen. The way you were made was planned and done with great care. Jesus is also clearing up something you might have thought wrong. You thought that being ready meant being sure of yourself all the time. You have to be ready to trust God even when you feel weak in order to be ready. Moses believed he was very little. David thought no one had remembered him. I felt bad for Esther. Still, they all moved forward because that's what the alignment told them to do, not because it felt good. There will be times when following the rules feels quiet and not seen. Remember those times. Heaven has a different set of rules for following them than the rest of the world. What some people think is unimportant could be very important in the long run. You can take on more responsibility because people can count on you with small things. You are also being told that calling doesn't make you less human. You'll still have feelings. You will still feel bad about how you feel, but it won't be able to control you. You will no longer be held back by questions. Christ teaches you that you can be humble and in charge at the same time. Archangel Michael stays close because it will take courage. Not a lot of noise, but steady courage that doesn't get out of hand. The kind that always comes through. This kind of person chooses honesty even when there are easier ways to do things. The type that waits patiently for things to happen. Now is the time for you to let go of something very important. A worry about making a mistake. Many people don't do what God tells them to do because they're afraid they will fail. God doesn't want us to be perfect. He respects people who are ready. Making changes is not a sign that you failed. It's a way to grow. You might feel both serious and calm as you think about this more. That's a holy mix. It means you understand how significant God's work is, but it doesn't make you feel weak. Peace tells you that you're on the right track right now. There is also a spiritual ceiling. What was shown to you can't be taken back. Doubt could come back, but it wouldn't be as strong. You now understand things better than before. You will be able to trust your gut more often from now on. Get this blessing activation before this message continues. You are not just leaving a comment when you type "I am chosen for purpose" in the comments. If this truth hits home for you, say "I know who I am" instead of "I hope I am chosen." The enemy can hear who you are over their voice. Allow this statement to stand on its own. I know who I am and what I'm called to do. Enter, I am chosen for purpose, and let heaven record what you say. Do this blessing spell before you read the rest of this message. Type "I'm chosen for purpose" in the comments if your spirit tells you this is true. There is now a blessing code 1122. Your calling is clear, brave, and in line with God's will. As you feel more awake, know that your help with this mission is not a joke. It's something God wants us to know. There is a link in the description or a pinned comment that you can use to help fund this work. When you buy a coffee, give money, or join our Ko-Fi community, you are helping. You join Jesus' plan to save souls who are still lost in fog. When you do this, each seed grows into a light that fights the darkness. Jesus says that if you water other people, you will be watered yourself. This isn't history, it is a promise about your future that is still alive. Have faith and a plan as you go into this moment. By giving, you can get to what God has already planned for your life. Jesus wants you to remember how important it is to be wise as we move forward. My beloved child, two different things. Being passive and being smart about how you wait. You are not being told to be scared and stop moving or to be excited and move quickly. Keep your heart steady and your spirit awake. You are being asked to be alert and ready. Peace should guide your choices. Stress is not what you feel right now. Alignment is about to show up. Always make sure you're in line before you move. Doors open on the outside when God lines you up on the inside. What's going on around you, the people you talk to, the chances that pop up out of the blue, or the things that used to work for you may change in small ways. These aren't picks, they have meaning. He wants you to know that the most important thing that will help you in this next season is to be wise. Smart's not help from everyone, not a sense of urgency, and not trends. You talk less and listen more when you are smart. It waits for peace to come before it moves and looks around before it does something. This is what God has been slowly but surely making you into an adult. Archangel Michael stays because keeping your senses safe is important. Most of the time, distractions get worse when things get smoother. You may have a lot of good options, but not all of them are from God. To be wise, you need to know the difference. Being taught to see both good things and things that fit together. You're also getting better at dealing with doubt. You used to feel stressed when things weren't predictable. You needed help right away. Having doubts no longer feels the same. It doesn't seem dangerous. It looks and feels open. There's a reason for that. You put more faith in God's guidance than in your own. It's important to make this change because it might not be clear at first what to do next. Christ doesn't always show the whole way at the beginning. You can trust Him and not be afraid of what He says. To learn how to walk, you need light, not to be able to see everything. The next step is brighter after each one. That's how faith gets stronger without getting careless. You may also find that you can deal with your emotions better. It's not as bad when you're let down as it used to be. Being late no longer feels like being turned down. From now on, you will look at things through the lens of goal instead of emotion. If you think about it that way, you will avoid pain of no use. Michael the Archangel is in charge of keeping your mind safe. Where negative thoughts used to keep going, they are changing. Now comes the clear part. Once there was self-doubt, but now there is slowly more confidence. There will still be times when doubts show up, but they will be harder to handle. The truth has come in. Jesus is also getting you ready to see how God's plans work out. Every door is different and can be hard to open. Naturally, simple does not always mean right and tough does not always mean wrong. This skill will help you figure out when to keep going and when to stop. That level of sensitivity is rising very quickly. Now is the time to trust your inner peace, even if common sense tells you otherwise. Peace means not having any concerns. God is with them. Being in heaven means having peace with your choice. It's often a good idea to take a break when worry takes over. You could feel happy for a while and then serious and calm again. You should listen to that beat. Being too excited without a grounding can lead to burnout. Being serious all the time makes you feel heavy. Balance is what God wants you to learn. Balance is what makes calling go on and on. When you obey, don't forget how powerful even small steps can be. When you stay faithful over and over, good things happen. It's not necessary to explain what you plan to do or why you are making each choice. If you follow God's will, being quiet can make you stronger. When the time is right, what you do should speak for itself. He also wants you to give up the idea that you need to know everything before clears throat you do something. Fear of the unknown can't be taken away by faith. You're brave to do it. As you grow, you learn to trust God's character more than the things that happen to you. You can trust that it will not let you down. Because Archangel Michael is here, there is a new kind of spiritual power at work. Not at all. You're not just safe. You have the right to say no. Wait without worrying and speak out without having to say sorry. It's quiet, but there is real power behind this. While you listen some more, notice how your spirit feels engaged instead of stressed. That was planned to happen. It's not like God is telling you a lot at once. He is telling you good things. Being smart takes time. This part of the trip is all about getting along. Everything you've heard, felt, and thought is coming together, not as stress, but as being ready. You are changing into someone who can carry what God is about to give you. Pay close attention to this. When people feel safe, they stop doing a lot of things. But this is where I understand better. The next part will make a clear connection between discernment, timing, and purpose. Keep reading for more. At this point, insight turns into action. You want to be there when that change takes place. Now, Jesus is telling my beloved child about a quiet movement that will have a big impact in the long run. This movement doesn't make a lot of noise. This kind changes your path without making things crazy. You are about to reach a point where you need to do something, but you should act wisely instead of from a strong urge. God teaches you how to move without trying. In this lesson, you should know that momentum from God is not the same as momentum from stress. When you move under pressure, you get restless and tired. The steps that God takes are steady and have a plan. You may feel ready to do something, not rushed, but with a strong desire to do something. That willingness shows that the work that went into getting ready paid off. Jesus wants you to know that people no longer have to agree with you in order to move forward. At one point in your journey, you thought other people would agree with you. You were certain that the choice you were making was the best one. Right now, there is comfort in being in alignment with yourself. It means you're getting better. Clears throat. You can't get lost when you use God as your compass, because both being still and moving need protection. Michael the Archangel stays as you start to act on what you know. Some people will not understand your choices. Some people may question when you're leaving. Some people might not get what you mean. You need to be brave and smart at the same time. Not everyone has to agree with you. You are told to do what you say. Chances may begin to show up in small ways. Strange conversations begin. There are clear thoughts. At first, paths that seem blocked start to clear out. Do not rush through these times. Take a look, pray with them, let peace help them. Don't rush. Please, God, pay attention. Jesus also teaches you how to be responsible without being scared. Your sense of duty shouldn't be too strong for you. It's meant to make you stronger. God gives us both grace and responsibility. It makes you feel stressed when you're waiting for something. You can tell them apart better now. This is also a lesson in being steady. Little acts of loyalty keep big changes going where no one is looking. Staying honest when there are easy ways out and waiting for results that don't show up right away. The results of these choices are more important than any dramatic events that might happen. When the Archangel Michael shows up, it means that God is making something safe through discipline. There is no limit to discipline. Building up structure is what lets growth happen. Watch over your time, thoughts, and energy more and more. You're not getting stiff. What you're going to do is planned. He wants you to know that your confidence didn't appear out of thin air. It was built on obedience, thought, and giving up. You can move forward now that you feel sure of yourself. Not steps based on fear, but steps based on knowledge and faith. Please take a moment to join this message that keeps coming to you. Feel free to share this message and say something if you like it. It will get to more people who are also waiting for confirmation like you. Join now to stay in touch because God is still working here and it's important to stay in sync. Now pay close attention. Don't stress about being late. The timing is just right for you. You've chosen to go this fast. It would have been bad for you to go faster. Moving more slowly would have made you give up. This journey was made just for you to become the person you are becoming. You might also want to give yourself more and more help. Everything is less clear when it's complicated. You should keep your focus on one thing at a time so that your energy doesn't get spread out. You can get more done when you are more focused. What you do will matter more than how much you do. Being watched over by Archangel Michael is a reminder that just because you are safe does not mean you won't have any problems. In other words, nothing will be able to stop you. Things might go wrong, but they won't stop you. It feels better to be more stable, rooted, and grounded. Now Jesus is also teaching you to trust that things will work out as they should and not worry about the results. This is how you learn to follow God's will. You can keep your peace if you let go. You are in charge of obeying. The results belong to God. As things calm down, notice how fear doesn't affect the choices you make as much. It might whisper, but it doesn't lead any longer. Wisdom is taking its place, which changes things in a big way. This stage is never reached because too many people quit too soon. You stayed, paid attention, and let God change your life in a big way. You can find out more about how this movement will affect you and the people in your life at the next event. You have no idea how big God's work is through you. And what that means is about to become more clear. Keep this moment in mind. You are not in a hurry to get to something you don't know much about. You're ready to do what you're about to do. Jesus now wants you to see how this change is already affecting other people, not just yourself. God does not do things by himself. Most of the time, the things he builds are meant to help other people find light, stability, or direction. People have been watching how you deal with things, how you react, and how you stay calm even when things get tough. Some of you may not have known this before. When you were quiet, no one could hear you, but your life could. That's why it took so long to get ready. Power that isn't based in reality hurts, but power that comes from humility heals. Jesus has been setting you up not only for your own breakthrough, but also for the quiet ways that your obedience will help other people. No one is giving you a chance to impress them. You are ready to make a difference. People might tell you the truth more often. They may want your opinion to be with you or just to listen. There is no mistake here. When God gives peace to someone, other people want to be close to them. Being at peace gives you strength. You can trust the word calm. You don't need to say anything. What God has done in you will speak for itself. Michael the Archangel stays close because being smarter is a part of having more power. People you talk to won't all need to know about your personal life. Being overexposed is not needed to care about others. It's possible to love someone without changing who you are for what's to come. That balance is very important. It's also clear that someone is responsible for this. Being responsible doesn't weigh you down. It means taking care of things. As you learn this, your words, time, attention, and energy are being watched over. These things are holy. They are important wherever you put them. God tells you these things because he knows you can handle them. What Jesus wants you to know is that how often you follow him will matter more than how much you follow him. A lot of people get strong at first but then lose it. You are learning how to last this way. When things are uncertain, having endurance is what gives you a reason to keep going. Being spiritually strong will help you keep going even when your feelings change. You might also feel more responsible. Not because you're scared, but because you have to. You don't want to speak or do things without thinking anymore. Not at all. In no way does this limit you. It means respect. Respect what God is doing or the job he has given you. When Archangel Michael is around, it means that spiritual integrity is getting stronger. Being honest means that what you say and what you do are the same. You are changing into someone whose actions match what they say they believe. Being honest in that way builds trust on its own without you having to do anything. Jesus is also getting you ready for times when going along with him will mean waiting for people who are not yet where you are. Being better is not what this means. It means getting it. At one point you needed grace too. So your heart will stay soft and your mind will stay sharp. Now is a very important time for you to let go of a strong urge to speed things up for other people. You can't make things grow. Your body can't heal faster. You are not supposed to fix things. Instead, you are supposed to show what God has done in you. Putting people under stress won't help them change. It is reflection. There are times when God's pleasure comes from something other than what you did. But because of what you're changing into, that happiness is quiet but strong. It lets you know you're going in the right direction. Don't forget about those times. Let them make you stronger. Archangel Michael stays alert because humility needs to be protected as power grows. There are times when pride doesn't show up very much. At times it can look like independence. He tells you to keep trusting him even as your faith grows. Authority stays strong when people depend on it. Plus, you learn how to help other people without taking on their pain. You get better at this as you get older. You get tired when you have too much empathy. With discernment, you can care about someone without getting too involved. You're getting better at keeping this balance. You may notice that your prayers are changing again now that things are calm. They want to ask for help more than they want to ask for change. You want to follow God, not go ahead of him. You want to know what he's doing now. You should follow him instead of going ahead of him. At this point in the journey, you're becoming who you are. Not only do you understand the truth you heard earlier, you are now living it. That which is touched by living truth changes over time. Your faith isn't being shown. Every day you do it and listen to what people say. It's quiet but strong here. It's not very exciting. So, a lot of people miss how important it is, but this is where a legacy is made. Not in moments, but in patterns. The next part of this message will make it seem like it's over. The very end, not just the end. A clear moment when everyone understands, agrees, and works toward the same goal. Do not look ahead. What is about to be given to you will appeal to you. If you're still reading, it's because heaven has been keeping an eye on you. Do not break that now. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before we talk about the last sealing. You can do more than just watch what a channel posts when you subscribe. In your life, you are making God's word come true. I will stay until the promise comes true. You say, I won't skip my season before it's clear's throat time. Everyone who signs up is watched over in heaven. It's a promise to connect or sign up right now. Press the button. Declare out loud that you are in divine alignment until all of what was said comes true. Now is the most important time. My beloved child, it's not the end. All that has been said, shown, and made inside you is sitting down by God. Is Jesus in a hurry to end this chapter? No. Because what is sealed must stay stable even after feelings fade. You're not just getting what you're getting now. It's a promise. Promise that God will be with you through everything that comes after this. He has been with you in every secret place. Now you stand on the edge of holy places. They mark times when the old you doesn't fit you anymore and the new you doesn't seem so far away. You are not going into the unknown blind. You have already thought out what you were going to do. He didn't send his children somewhere he hadn't been himself. Think about how different you feel now compared to the beginning of this message. It is now clear instead of feeling like time is running out. There is now peace instead of waiting. There were doubts, but now there is trust. How does God finish what he starts? He doesn't irritate or anger you. He puts you down and lines you up. In the Bible, during the sealing phase of a divine assignment, Archangel Michael stood watch to make sure that fear or confusion did not change what had been said. Michael the Archangel is still here to make sure everything is done in stone. You can be sure that what you got is safe now that he's there. You can't take it back, change it, or undo it. This is what Jesus wants you to know. You already know what God has done. You don't need another sign. This message was the sign. You felt known, which was confirmation. Reassurance won't be enough to keep my faith going from now on. I need to remember. Remember what God showed you. Don't forget how fear turned into peace. Remember how getting clear got rid of the mess. Sometime in the future, things will look like they did before. Do not see that as a sign of loss. But the truth is that they live through normal seasons. You can walk forward now that you don't have to keep up the pace. How always you do things will become your strength. You and them will only agree to do what you say. In the same way, Jesus frees you from having to be perfect. You'll get better, though. You'll still learn. It won't bother you for long. You can still grow. You can still call even if you made a mistake. If you keep your heart open, God will always bless you. Don't worry about how well you carry this. People expect you to be honest about it. Note how stronger your sense of self feels now. What other people think doesn't bother you much. That's not what makes you who you are. You don't think you'll fall behind, so you keep going. It's nice to be stable. You are safe. You don't mind the noise. Archangel's being there. Michael wants you to know that you are still safe after revelation. You're not going to leave now by yourself. Heaven doesn't leave after a message is sent. God stays. You can still get help. You can still get wisdom. It's not force that Jesus is telling you to use as you move forward. Respect yourself, respect other people, and respect the time. You can move slowly enough not to bother anyone. Your life is holy. Now is the time to align. We are also putting out something right now. Don't hold on to the old things you thought about yourself. Get rid of timelines that aren't God's. Get rid of voices that don't matter any longer. There is room for what is true when these are gone. You know enough about what will happen next to not be scared. You know who locked you up. You pay attention. When you're at peace, you know what to do. That's all there is to it. Faith doesn't need to see everything. It only needs to believe in God. Before this message ends, get this last blessing activation. Thank you for writing. I walk in divine alignment. Write it down if you know this word. Now that blessing code with I-440 has been sent, your life will be filled with peace, wisdom, and divine guidance. I feel led to tell you this today like it did for you. God wants this word to reach a lot more people who are still looking in silence. God's plan for you is about to come true. Don't forget that this message goes beyond you. If you click on the link in the description or clears throat the pin, comment and buy a coffee, make a donation, or join the KOF community, you can help. Your new idea can help people get where they need to go. With this mission, when you do this, you help souls who are still trapped in darkness to awaken, be freed, and be restored. It's not poetry. When Jesus says, give, and heaven will open over you. Each seed you plant grows into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is the time. Have faith, my child. Watch as God makes what you let go of grow. When you click like, it means you agree with what was said. It makes a way for blessings to come back to you. If you agree with this message, click the like button right now while it's still fresh in your mind. Picture God's blessings pressing into your life as you press down with your thumb. To start the flow, click like on this video right now. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission too. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open right now before we finish this moving story. Let's think about this important truth. This message wasn't found by accident. This isn't just clear's throat a lucky break. This is a message from Archangel Michael to you directly. He is reaching out and inviting you to join a safe, high-vibrational group where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This holy rule is very easy to understand, but it can make a huge difference in your life. They will not only bless you, they will multiply and flow into every part of your life if you follow them. You can get early access to powerful content and divine insights that aren't available to everyone right now. If you accept this invitation, you can now go into a holy place where you will get spiritual help, unwavering support, and quick progress toward your destiny. Don't miss this holy moment of your life's journey. There's a breakthrough waiting for you. Use the special link in the description to join Archangel Michael's inner circle right away. This is the only way to be sure you never miss the direct personalized messages that are meant to improve and strengthen your life. If you want to get to know each other better, the link is in both the pinned comment and the description. There is also a link to buy the guided ebook for those who feel called to spread this work even further. But this is not required. But just being here, paying attention, and coming together means a lot. Do it. Your plenty is waiting. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faithful community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to this site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, Your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.